Hey y'all, me and Ian are out on the farm today again. We're going to be going over some things as far as stand locations, as far as putting in those last minute to-do lists in the summer, you know, checking them things off and really getting into where we want to be in the fall, maybe where we want to, you know, take our kids. I think that's what we're going to focus on today is pretty much where we're going to be hunting with the kids and hunting with new beginner hunters and things like that. But we're going to be setting up a blind today, I believe, a couple rope scrapes, and maybe if we get some time today, we might go and do either riding around or we'll sit in the double stand tonight. We haven't decided yet, and do some velvet filming, hopefully get some of that on cam tonight. We're after some pretty good bucks in here. Got a lot of good young bucks in here. Got a lot of mature bucks to try to show up during November, and that's basically what we're trying to do is get those spaces done ahead of time in order to not leave that scent around, so that, you know, kids leave enough scent going in, and, you know, so do new hunters and things like that. So we're trying to hit those spots that are pretty easy access, and they're kind of like pinch points or funnels, or, you know, places that they're not going to have a super far shot. So we're going to go in there and we're going to put in a blind today. Hopefully Ian and the girls can be successful this fall, and we'll catch up with you there. So, come October, maybe even before, we'll probably do some sets in here, but the thing about this spot that's great, and when you're going in and putting these blinds in for kids and other people that are kind of beginners and whatnot, is, have you seen, we cleared out this forest bed. No sticks, no you know, brush or anything get in our way. Really helps when those kids, because them kids don't pay attention when they're coming in and out, and they're just kids. Not because they mean to, but it's just because they're kids. But we clear it all out for them, and it makes it pretty sweet. This spot in particular, it's kind of the inside of it's kind of like an inlet here, but everything funnels down to this big oak ridge and a big old creek bed, and it makes it perfect. It makes like a 20-30 yard shot for these kids, which is what I like to do. I don't like them shooting past, honestly don't like them shooting past 20-25, but they're pretty good with the modern day crossbows and everything like that of getting out there at 30, so I feel pretty confident. But we're going to go check it out on the inside. Come on. And I'm going to give you a kind of a rundown of how this little spot works. So back here on this south side of this farm, the neighbor's got about 80-90 acres of CRP. And a lot of these deer will bed in there come October, November, pushing does in and out of this little funnel here. There's two spots where they enter and exit this bean field that's out in front of us. That I noticed last year quite a bit, like a lot. I watched several good bucks come through here. I didn't have a set in here last year on this exact spot, so I decided to move forward with this spot with the kids because it's a perfect little funnel, and it goes back to a big feeding ground back in here, another field. But what we did is, as these deer move out from that south field over here, that south CRP field, we put some scrapes along this front portion of us that's 40-50 yards away, and a lot of the bucks had made scrapes there last year, and they would do that same thing. They would walk right down this line and then funnel right through this spot. So what we did is we made position scrapes in places we wanted to possibly shoot deer at, and this spot that we got specifically picked out for the kids and them is like a 25-30 yard shot max, and they could funnel right out into here in front of us and be less than that. I've seen does do that on the camera and some pretty decent bucks so far. do that on the camera, but they're hitting this rope scrape that we put in pretty consistently at this point, and it's pretty sweet. So if everything works out, these guys will funnel down in here, and we'll have about a 30 yard shot max, hopefully, for the kiddos. It'll be pretty sweet. So. Hey y'all, I hope you enjoyed watching how we set up our stands for the kids and new hunters and those type of things. As you can see, we're in the new Coffee with Coleman studio. I put myself in the hot seat tonight. We're going to talk about a little bit how we're going to set this this podcast up. Traditionally, we'd have like a regular podcast and run it like everybody else does, but I think we're going to try to switch it up and kind of gear it towards a talk show, like a late night talk show or an after the hunt talk show or after the season talk show, and talk with people across the industry, all types of hunters, and see how their season went, what they did right, what they didn't do right, what experiences they loved, what experiences they dreaded throughout the season. A lot of good content coming this way. We've got a lot of good hunters coming onto the show this fall. Going to be doing some collaborating with some other people, and anyway, you're going to have to check out Coffee with Coleman. The new studio is getting really, really close to being done. As you can see, we still got a sign to put up. Our bunkhouse is looking awesome up there. My buddy Ian and Chad, they've done a lot of work in here to help me get this thing done, and I appreciate you guys for that. Also, we're with the bunkhouse situation. We're going to have we're going to be doing some podcast / hunt / stuff with the Ridge Ghost on that channel, where we're going to have different hunter collaborations come through, and they're going to be staying in the bunkhouse. We're going to have like pretty much a whole weekend of hanging out, getting together, and filming the whole thing and whatnot. There's a lot of cool content coming through the Ridge Ghost. I'm pretty excited to see what Chad's getting on with the backyard buck. I'm after a really big deer. Pretty excited. I'm after 2 really big deer, I guess I should say. Technically, wait, I'm even three really, but 2 that I'm going to really target this year. You're going to get a sneak peek of both of those at the end of this episode here, and I guess catch up with us next time. Thank you for watching the Ridge Ghost and Coffee with Coleman podcast.